Welcome into the show. Hope all of you had a fantastic weekend and your weeks are off to a great start. The Philadelphia 76ers continue to hoop, playing awesome basketball under Nick Nurse. And coming up on today's show, plenty to get to. A new Kelly Oubre Jr. injury update after he was struck by a car in Center City, Philadelphia on Saturday night. And how about the career night for Tyrese Maxey in that win over the Pacers on Sunday? A 50-burger for Philadelphia's son. All of that coming your way. First, I want to challenge all Sixers fans out there. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, in my humble opinion, you're missing out. If you want free year-round coverage of this basketball team, hit that sub button. And can we get to 13,000 subs with this video? Also, don't miss our 76ers Celtics watch party on Wednesday night. Producer Chip and yours truly running it back. Can Philadelphia make it 2 straight against Boston? We start with the latest around Kelly Oubre Jr. after he was unfortunately hit by a car in Philadelphia near his home, Center City, Philadelphia, on Saturday. We covered the initial news, but now some more news to get to from some NBA insiders and Shams Charania, as well as Adrian Wojnarowski. Pretty cool moment last night after Tyrese Maxey dropped that 50-piece. He said, "This is for and was for Kelly Oubre," and Shams from the Philadelphia Police Department that Oubre was struck in the upper chest area by a silver vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed on Saturday night. The car fled the scene. In addition to broken ribs, Oubre has injuries to his hip and his right leg. So I guess on one end, it could have been much, much worse. And our thoughts and prayers continue to be with KO. On the other hand, though, not ideal injuries for a basketball player, of course. And then there's this from Woj that Oubre released from a Philadelphia area hospital. A Sixers spokesman tells ESPN Oubre will work closely with the 76ers medical staff on treatment and care for his injuries. Unfortunately, the injury update here that we also talked about on Saturday is expected to miss a significant period of time. According to the Sixers, Oubre will be reevaluated in 1 week. He could be back by the end of the season. Let's hope that rings true, because this has been a great storyline for Philadelphia. And I know a lot of people are in the comments section saying this organization is cursed. For Oubre, I feel really bad for him. I mean, he signed late with the Sixers in free agency, bargain deal for Philadelphia, one that was working out well as a cost-controlled asset perspective for this team, because Oubre was playing some of the best basketball of his career. Now, the Sixers in that win against the Pacers didn't miss a beat, but this certainly alters their rotation a little bit. Nicholas Batum getting the start in the place of Oubre. It's been cool to see this roster, this team, this locker room showing some love to Oubre. Maxey with those comments after the game, and then Nick Nurse in the locker room addressing the team. They tried to FaceTime Oubre. He didn't answer, and then he had a Sixers assistant coach send a picture of the team saying, "Get well soon, Kelly Oubre Jr." And then there's this from Joel Embiid. Man, that was tough. It's just unfortunate. It just shows you that it can happen to any of us. He's super lucky, but I'm glad he wasn't too bad, because it could have been worse. The game today, we were all thinking about him, and we just want him to take his time, recover, and we got his back. And then Maxey saying, "Man, this has nothing to do with me after I scored 50 and poured it in and poured it up against the Pacers. This is all Kelly Oubre, man. You know, we're praying for him. Love my dog. I just met him, but I love him. I hope he gets well soon." You can tell that a lot of players in this locker room really like Oubre. He has made a very quick and solid first impression on this team. Sixers sending a video to him as well as a photo after that Pacers game, and several players went to visit Kelly Oubre Jr. today as we record this on this Monday afternoon. Show some love to Oubre. I'm certain that he needs it, and he's probably going to come across this video if he's just kicking it at the crib watching YouTube. If you are Kelly Oubre, we love you. We appreciate what you've done for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sixers. Type KO in the chat. Coming up next, did a YouTube short on Maxey's 50-point historic and career game against Indiana, but I have some more thoughts on that. So does producer Chip. First, though, how about producer Chip's picks? We'll get to those in a moment, but he put them in with Prize Picks. $100 deposit match at prizepicks.com/CLNS and use the code CLNS. The largest independently run daily fantasy sports app in North America. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. You pick 2+ players. You choose more or less on their projected stat lines. And Chip, let's have a little bit of a game here. We're going to pop up these picks. Stephon Diggs, more or less 87.5 receiving yards. What do you like there?
I'm liking the more for Stephon Diggs tonight.
Javonte Williams, Denver Broncos running back, 55.5 rushing yards, more or less, my guy.
I'm going more. Javonte Williams has been on a hot streak. I think he keeps it up more than 55.5.
Yeah, and this Broncos team playing a lot better. Russell Wilson, more or less than a half interception against this Buffalo team that's in desperate need of a win. How do you think Russ fares?
I think Russ has a good game, but I do think he throws an interception. Give me more than half an interception tonight for Russ.
You can tell producer Chip if you want. Code CLNS at prizepicks.com/CLNS. He's been on a heater. That's why we kind of want to bring Chip into the fold to see who he's going with on Monday Night Football. Him and I, we're a part of the Moore Club. The real ones know. Tyrese Maxey in the history books here. Torched the Pacers for a career-high 50 points. Honestly, though, what I loved about Maxey's performance, the all-around nature of his game. He was aggressive. He was getting it done on both ends of the floor. He was rebounding the basketball. He was dishing out dimes. How about the 3 blocks that he had as well? Philadelphia took a massive lead in this game as you take a look at the numbers, and the Pacers were able to trim that deficit down late in the game. Maxey's chase down block was sensational. So the overall stat line, 57-5. He took 32 shots and made 20 of them, and he was 7 of 11 from three-point range. Simply unstoppable. There was a great screen grab of Bruce Brown, who signed with Indiana after winning a title with the Denver Nuggets last year, and he was looking at Maxey like this. Are you kidding me? Nobody's able to stop this cat. He got whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. He attacked at all 3 levels, attacking the rim, hit some pull-up jimmies, and then was draining some of those step-back threes, #wet. And I think everybody out there has to understand that Tyrese Maxey is for real. Those of you who are real ones, who have been with me since I launched this channel about 2 years ago, know that I've always been a massive fan of Tyrese Maxey. I saw in the early going that this kid had potential. Now, did I think that he was going to be a small guard in Philadelphia for this team, dropping 50 points with the quickness of Allen Iverson? Yeah, I don't think anybody envisioned that, but I knew right away, this guy can play in this league, and the steady improvement that we've seen now in year 4 really is impressive. This start is for real. This start is not a fluke. This kid is playing at an all-star caliber level. Shoot, it's not just an all-star caliber level. This is a legitimate first-team All-NBA caliber start to the season for Tyrese Maxey. No cap. ESPN stats and info with this, that Maxey with that career-high 50 burger in that 137-126 win over the Pacers on Sunday. At 23 years and 8 days of age, Maxey, the second youngest player with the 50-point game in 76ers history, behind only Allen Iverson, who was 21 and 309 days when he had 50 points against Cleveland in April of 1997. This is a special start. It should be respected and appreciated, and it should be taken for real. You look at Maxey's beginning to the campaign here, as Philadelphia still on this winning streak, haven't lost since that season opener against Milwaukee. His 28.6 points per game, that is 9th in the NBA. His 7.2 assists, 10th in the NBA. He is 9th in three-point percentage at 43%. His offensive rating also 9th in the league at 122.9. And his assist-to-turnover ratio. James Harden had the NBA best assist-to-turnover ratio last year. Maxey filling into his shoes very nicely. And thank goodness James Harden is not on this basketball team. Clippers are winless since the Beard went to Los Angeles, and they look to be a mess. And with Harden out, Maxey in, We've seen him blossom as a star in this league, 6.5 dimes per game, and he's rarely turning the rock over, making quality decisions. And the two-man game between Maxey and Embiid, I think, has been flawless as well. This could change everything. This could change the direction of this franchise. And I saw what Joe Giglio said today on 94 WIP. He said the start of Maxey's season this year reminds him a lot of the start of Jalen Hurts this season with the Eagles last year, when you saw the making of a superstar at a very important position, potentially changing the course of an organization. If Maxey continues on this clip and he continues to play like this, Joel Embiid has been desperate to have a co-star. Maxey could be it. I think it's pretty telling when Embiid says, this kid is one of the hardest workers I've ever been around, and his mood never changes. He's always in a great mood. Always vivacious, always smiling. That's something that we've talked about here on the program. Embiid said, even if he comes into the facility at 7 a.m., Embiid's like, yo, you just woke up, still a smile on his face. He said, that can change everything. His improvement has been outstanding. That's a credit to him for getting in the lab with Drew Hamlin, also Embiid's trainer. It's a credit to Nick Nurse for elevating his game as well. He can be the reason why this Sixers team can surprise some people in the NBA playoffs, and that's why Sixers fans like Chip, myself, we're pumped up about this basketball team for the first time in a really, really long time. So what do you think? Forget All-Star. Can Maxey make an All-NBA team this year? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Don't you forget to subscribe to the channel. Join us on Wednesday night for another watch party. Going to be on the tail end of a back-to-back after taking on the Indiana Pacers in the NBA play-in tournament on Tuesday. So interested to see how the Sixers' energy level is against Boston in that game. We'll see you on on Wednesday, and we hope that you're here to break it all down with us.